How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. Thank you so much for joining in. I don't know how, and I will get right into the point. Thank you so much for joining in. Join in. Share the video, like the video, share the video, like the video. A lot of people ask me, what can I do, Oscar? Just share the video and like the video. Give it a like on that Facebook. Give it a thumbs up on that YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're live on Facebook, we're live on X, and we're live at YouTube. The title of the show, its name is it's just sad. And why I'm saying it's just sad, because I do not understand. Well, I understand. It's not even confusing. It's just so disappointing. You know, when you grow up, when I grew up, you admire so much the United States of America because of their military, because it's the country of freedom. And now the Iranian butcher, the president of Iran, a man that caused so much damage, a man that assassinated more than 8,000 political prisoners, a man that tortures women in front of a plaza in Tehran, a man that hangs people that they are from the opposite gender preference, a man that violates every human right of a woman, a man that completely violates every human right inside of the country of Iran, that he did it for years. And then you have the Biden administration celebrating the death of this man. What the hell is going on? It's really shocking for me. It's until what limit the American people are going to take this crap anymore. You know, before I put this clip of the Biden administration basically giving condolences to a man that attacked the United States, that has threatened the United States, that has threatened the freedom of the United States, that has threatened Americans. So apparently this man died in a helicopter crash. Now there are all these conspiracies that somebody provoked the crash and it was done by the CIA, FBI. Man, this crap. I hate all this conspiracy crap. All the things that the left preaches about are all the things that they're doing. And it is shocking, the culture change that is completely drifting in the United States of America, from loving the flag, from representing the flag. Now you go to now people kneeling under the flag, turning their backs on the flag of the United States, pulling down the flag of the United States and pulling the Palestinian flag up, protesting because they're protesting for another country's war, Ukraine war, Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah. The shift on this American people, it is so obvious that they have been infiltrated. And the only way that the United States can be destroyed is by within, and they're actually doing it, man. And the American people are realizing it. Now, I have to say, I'm not going to say that there's no hope. But yesterday, this stupidity case in New York against President Trump is just a sham. Election interference to the fullest. They cannot prove anything against this man. Everything that they have appointed him and they have accused him of, they have lost. There's no credible evidence. There's only the destruction of his image and the destruction of who he is. Another leftist strategy to completely destroy his credibility. That's a leftist strategy. Talking about his past, that is a leftist strategy. They have done it to me. They have done it to everybody. It's a progressive, mercenary, communist, Marxist, socialist, leftist strategy. And they're doing it to President Trump right now. Why? Because they know that he's going to win. I'm sorry. I'm a Mexican citizen. I will tell you this, and I'm being completely honest. The next elections of the presidency of the United States of America, it is not going to be in favor of Joe Biden. It is going to be in favor of President Trump. The people are sick and tired of what Joe Biden has done to that country. The other day I was watching a video where Joe Biden was speaking at a college, and you have African-American students, Black American students, turning their backs into Joe Biden because they're sick and tired of his trash, his narrative, their disgusting and racist narrative, like Mayor Adams saying, oh, we got good swimmers now, immigrants, good swimmers, because they swim across the Rio Grande. Jerry Nadler, oh, who's going to pick up the lettuce? We got illegal immigrants. They pick up the lettuce. They're going to rot in the field. Who's going to pick up the crops in Florida? Nancy Pelosi said that. All these racist Democrats are the ones that they're destroying the country of the United States of America. There's no other way for me to say it to you, to all Latinos and Hispanics. Wake the hell up. We've been caught in this plantation. We have been caught and we have been cheated upon in this plantation. We have been lied to, pandered, victimized, ridiculized to make us believe that we're part of this movement of color against the white man, the imperialistic white man. We have been lied to. And that is the reality. What happened the other day in New York. You had the whole streets packed, waiting for President Trump to go to court. It is not a lie. People are waking up to this reality that the Democrats are completely destroying that country. Look at the economy. What jobs are you talking about? You're talking about 80 million plus jobs, 80,000 plus jobs. What jobs? The economy is a complete disaster. You're in debt, for God's sake. You got trillions of dollars. You're printing out money that is not even printed, and you're borrowing money of the borrowed money that you're going to owe for your children and your grandchildren and the children of your grandchildren. The United States is on a decline, but not on a decline of being destroyed, on a culture decline. The understanding of loving the freedom, the understanding of loving a country, the understanding of loving the future, the understanding of loving the American dream that is not existing anymore, because guess who's destroying it? The United Nations, with their open borders, with their disaster culture crash. It is not helping humanity. These United Nations, these NGOs that I made a video, and they're profiting millions out of human misery, and they're profiting millions out of our people, the Hispanic and Latino people. These people are destroying the word of migrant. It is a reality. They're destroying us. They're giving us a bad image so they can make a profit. And then later on, the future generations of people that they're going to arrive into the United States of America, guess what political party they're going to vote? They're not going to vote Republican. They're going to vote Democrat. It is the replacement of one political party completely dethrone the political party of the Republicans and have one imperialistic political party. Guess where that is happening? In Mexico, Morena, it is buying off every left and right political party, and the right wingers have gone into the left. Venezuela, one political party. Cuba, one political party. It is not to be thinking outside the box, people. It is actually a strategy that is working, using the vulnerable people, that they're the migrants, not victimizing them, but they're vulnerable because they're suffering from insecurity, poverty, poor jobs, bad pay, and then you bring in the infiltrated bad people in there. So you bring those people, you're offering them the opportunity of a lifetime that it's not. You're using that vulnerability, and you're going to say to all my Hispanic people, ¿qué cosa es de a gratis que le han dado en la vida? ¿Todo es de a gratis? Los Estados Unidos, ¿cuándo nos han dado algo de a gratis? To all my Hispanic people, everything's for free? It doesn't have a cost? Nothing's for free in this world. This is a plan. The replacement theory, it is not a theory anymore. They're not trying to replace the white man. They're not trying to replace the brown man. They're not trying to replace the black man. They're trying to replace the United States of America. Replace it all. Bring a new generation of people that they can basically understand the systematical way that the United Nations and the globalists and the elitists trying to run the world. The only way to dethrone that ideology of freedom, the freaking experiment that they did, your four founding fathers on your country, it is to completely destroy the culture and culture shock. I got to tell you, this is completely disappointed. And the only thing that I'm seeing is that people are rising in the United States of America. People are understanding. You know, the other day, Milei, the president of Argentina, got into it in Spain. Why? Because he spoke about the Spaniard president and the scandal of his wife being involved in corruption with illicit activity, according to illicit synthetic drugs, apparently. And he mentioned something like that. And immediately he got attacked by, guess who? Not men. They send the women. So he cannot defend himself against a woman. And if he does, again, retaliate, speaking above, you know, how the leftists work, speaking about this situation, he will be accused as a misogynist, as a macho, as a machismo. It is a strategy. They're perfectly known, their defense mechanism, as I have said this time so many times before to all of you people. The defense mechanism of language, it is actually a constructive defense mechanism. Fearmonger, creating hysteria, white supremacists, conspiracy theories, white imperialists, xenophobic, transphobic, homophobic, pronoumphobic, fatphobic, racist, fascist, narcissist, bigot, Zionist, free Palestine, from the river to the sea. It is a reality. They're using this. And because of this language, look at your colleges. Jesus. What happened at Harvard? What happened at Stanford? What happened at Yale? What happened at Brown? What happened at UCLA? What happened to the SDSU? What happened to Arizona College? What happened to MIT? All these colleges have been infiltrated by who? By this kind of crap. This kind. The United States of America has been attacked by their enemy. so many times. The Iranian president, it is not a friend of the United States of America. The Iranian president, it is not your buddy. It is not a guy that you high five at the end of a baseball game and say, good job, Iranian president. Good job, the United States of America. Hey, do you want to get a hot dog? He's not that guy. He's a guy that has been threatening your democracy and your freedom for years. And he has been part of terrorist attacks for years. He has assassinated more people, more than 8,000 political prisoners. There's a comment right here before I put what's called an Uncle Tom. I'm brown. How can I be called an Uncle Tom? I was born in Mexico, raised in Mexico, in Tijuana, Mexico. Because I don't agree with your leftist democratic narrative, now an Uncle Tom. And now you got another Mexican over here. Hablas inglés y los anglos ni te pelan, compa. Me vale. Let me just tell you something. Para este comentario racista y denigrante. Let me just speak it in Spanish. Para este comentario racista y denigrante. Este es el izquierdista. Esta es la mierda de izquierda. Esta es la mierda. Esto aquí, esta es la mierda. Esto es por lo que Venezuela no tiene libertad. This is the crap right here, this comment. You speak it in English and the Anglos don't speak to you. What do you think, dumbass? Only white people speak English? ¿Qué piensas, idiota, que solamente los blancos hablan español? ¿Hablan inglés? ¿El inglés solamente es para los blancos? ¿Sabes cuánto es la comunidad latina e hispana que está en los Estados Unidos de América? ¿Sabes que la militar, el casi 30-35% de la militar de los Estados Unidos es latina y hispana? ¿Sabes de qué está lleno California, Arizona, Nuevo México, Texas? ¿Acaso sabes eso? Ah, no, es el imperialismo blanco. This guy. You speak English, but the Anglos don't speak to you. They don't even care. These kind of idiots are the ones that they are denigrating our community, ourselves, the Latinos. What do you think? The only people that can speak English are white people? Completely denigrating our intellectual capacity. Completely denigrating who we are. Almost 30 to 35% of the military, it is Hispanic or Latino. Border Patrol, huge amount of people are Latino. U.S. Customs, huge amount of Latinos. California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, full with Latinos. But you guys, this kind of comments that you're leftists, that they're denigrating you. They're always going to say you're a traitor to your people because you don't stand with their crap. Because you don't stand with their narrative of transgenderism affecting our values, our Hispanic and Latino values, completely destroying who we are as men and women. They're disgusting. This is the enemy. Nobody else. That's the enemy. You're what it's called an Uncle Tom. Why don't you help your own people instead of placating to the conservative right wing? You want them to pay you in the head? What conservative right wing? I'm not even a conservative right wing. So you think, let me just ask you, to you, that guy, bro, let me just ask you, how's your economy doing in the United States of America? I can speak of whatever I want to speak. This is a typical white mercenary progressive activist liberal that wants to pander to Hispanics to get the vote, that wants to pander to us, the Hispanics, to be their friend, but it wants to keep us in the shadow. If we speak the reality and if we don't agree with them, they will imperialistically tell us what to do. And they will denigrate us to tell us, speak about your own people. Don't speak about us. We're sick and tired of you the white mercenary, activist, progressive, communist, Marxist, liberal, telling us what to do, living in the plantation of you coming over here and speaking trash about the political situation in the United States of America and using us for your political gain and votes. We're sick and tired of you slaving us into a system and promises that it will never come true. What happened to the DACA recipients? What happened to the 11 million undocumented individuals of Joe Biden? What is going on with your voters? What is going on with the fentanyl abuse and fentanyl use in your country? What's going on with your freedom? What's going on with your economy? You're a complete disaster. You're a white mercenary activist liberal who's talking about that I'm an Uncle Tom and you're white. Look how damaged your head is. We are not going to let these people win. We're sick and tired of these people using us. Sick and tired. And this right here, people, this right here, this is the actual truth of culture disaster of the United States of America. This video that I'm going to put right here, it is the reality of your disaster of culture. Look at this.
Official condolences.
So condolences on behalf of the United States government.
I'm not even sure why you're offering condolences if this guy was as bad as you say he was.
Look,
why? I mean,
because we regret any loss of life.
Aren't you sending contradictory messages?
Absolutely not.
We didn't hear this kind of statement when Yevgeny Prigozhin famously died in a plane crash.
Not a head of state.
Neither is Raisi. Is it a diplomatic thing that you hope will be reciprocated? Like, just talk us through.
It has nothing to do with hopes of anything that will transpire.
State Department today.
Whatever happened, and I just got to ask, before I move on and before I go on, whatever happened to the condolences of the people that they lost their lives in Afghanistan? Whatever happened to the condolences of Laken Riley? Whatever happened to the condolences of people that they were left behind in Afghanistan? Whatever happened to the condolences of the young little girl that it was a nurse, that she got brutally assassinated by an undocumented individual? Whatever happened to the condolences for that? There's no condolences right there with your own people? There's no freaking condolences right there. Oh, but you're pandering to the white conservative right wing, extreme right winger. I'm not even from the left. I'm not even from the right. I'm a Mexican citizen. That is what the white mercenary activist liberal gets pissed off. That I have always spoke about how the right also messes up and how the left also messes up. But this is a complete disaster. This right here is a complete disaster. Celebrating the death of a butcher, a guy that terminated lives, more than 8,000 political prisoners. How many women did he torture in front of the Tehran Plaza? Do you know how many women? Do you know how many men he hung because they had another sexual preference? Do you know how many sports figures he put in prison because they were defending women and talking against the government? And actually, the Biden administration is celebrating it. Complete disaster, really. I don't have nothing else to say. This is a complete disgrace. It's like celebrating Osama bin Laden. Really. basically, celebrating Osama bin Laden. Thank you so much. Somebody bought me some coffees, and I will buy me a coffee. Is right there, pin in the chat. If people want to contribute to my independent reporting and travel fund, I'm trying to travel soon, but I'm trying to gather funds so I can travel. And I got to say, Kathy, thank you so much. Sandy, thank you so much for the coffees. Kathy and Sandy, thank you so much. It's right there, pin on the chat. I'm not even pandering to the extreme right winger or the Anglo. They don't even, you speak English. They don't even, man, how stupid is that? But, oh my God, this is ignoring individuals. But let me just tell you what's going on right now. It's a lot of things going on. Political interference with the president, with the Trump administration. Man, with Trump, it's election interference. No matter what, if Trump was a Democrat, man, the Democrats will be crying of this. Oh my God, this is a political sham and all this kind of stuff. Look at that case, man. The guy, already the other guy, Cohen, has admitted to taking funds of the Trump administration, and still we have this political sham. It's still going on. It's a complete disaster. And then you got this, you got people celebrating, celebrating the death of basically of this guy. Let me just put it again. It's just, I'm gonna put it for the last time. This is such a disaster, man. It's such a disaster. How can you mourn the death of a
Official
butcher?
Condolences.
So condolences on behalf of the United States government.
I'm not even sure why you're offering condolences if this guy was as bad as you say he was.
Look,
Why? I mean,
because we regret any loss of life.
Aren't you sending contradictory messages?
Absolutely not.
We didn't hear this kind of statement when Yevgeny Prigozhin famously died in a plane crash.
Not a head of state.
Neither is Raisi. It is a diplomatic thing that you hope will be reciprocated. Like, just talk us through.
It has nothing to do with hopes of anything that will transpire.
And the bad thing about it is that, let me just tell you, this is the bad thing about it. And I'm just going to speak about this topic because this is actually happening in your colleges. This is what actually is happening in your colleges. In your colleges, you have this massive transformation. You have this massive transformation. Massive transformation. Last comment. Let me just address this. Shame on you. You should not speak ill of the dead. My God, holy crap. Now with this, you will understand. So stop speaking about, if you want me to, let us make an agreement. Last time that I put attention to this guy, let us make an agreement. I will make an agreement with you. How about I stop talking about the Iranian president and you guys stop talking and mocking Jesus? You got a deal? Shake on it. How about that? Do we got a deal? I'm Team Jesus over here, man. You're Team President of Iran, right? So you want me to stop supposedly not speaking of the debt and, shame on me? All right. Stop talking about Jesus. There we go. You're shaming on people that they already died, supposedly. So here you go. There's my hand, brother. You want to shake it? No, you don't. God bless you, by the way. It's a reality of what's going on. And actually, there's a comment right here that is actually funny. The Iranian government, and I don't know why they don't do it, because all these white liberals, they preach about communism, they preach about Marxism in their academia, right? They have never walked a caravan. They have never walked in a jungle in the Darien Gap like I have done 4 times, where people are migrating and suffering the consequences of communism and socialism. And they speak above communism and socialism like they know. But if they tell them go and live there for a month, they say like, no. It is because of the American imperialism. It is because of the white supremacy. The Iranian government said that to all those young kids in colleges who got expelled from their college, that they were offering them a scholarship in Iran to go to college. I'm still waiting for just one that has accepted that offer. Have you seen one American college student that he was, uh, you know, expelled from their college that accepted that offer to go to Iran and study over there in Iran? I'm just asking a question. Have you seen one from the LGBTQ plus movement? With all respect to you, movement, have any of you thought about going over there and fighting the good fight from over there? Has anybody? Or has anybody of you tried to go? I went to the war in Israel. I covered that. And I was like 9 minutes away from the Gaza Strip, from where all the gray area, the line of contact was. And it was a lot of contact. You can actually hear it. There were a couple of missiles that landed real close from where I was at. Have you thought about going over there to the line of Gaza and bringing your rainbow flag and walking the whole Gaza Strip to see how that goes? Not making fun of the LGBTQ movement. I'm just saying what your guys are defending. And this guy that just said, how dare you make fun of the people that are already dead? You guys are making fun of Jesus every freaking day. You guys are making fun of Jesus, the most beautiful man that ever walked this planet on my eyes, on the most important day of our celebration, that is Resurrection Day. This evil and demonic administration of the Biden administration made it Transparency Day. That's not mocking who we celebrate. And I'm just only one guy. That was a complete mockery worldwide. So the world has reacted, and the people that they have reacted, I don't share articles like these ones because I don't believe on this network, but it's Al Jazeera, for God's sake. So Al Jazeera put this, and the world says the world reacts to the death of Iran's president Ibrahim Raisi, right? So let's go and see who celebrated his death. China. My God. Really? Oh, wow. No, that's a lie. No. That's a lie. No, Xi Jinping is such a good guy. He's a great guy, Xi Jinping. Buy me a coffee is right there, pinned in the chat. People would like to contribute to my independent reporting. Much appreciated, people. Thank you so much. Right now is the moment to help us out to get to where we want to go. And we really need your support, people. We do this alone, so we travel alone. So it's a lot. You guys are going to help us a lot. So these are the people that celebrated and mourned the death. The guy from Egypt, the European Union. Look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, look at this. Hezbollah. Isn't it right? Isn't it great? Hezbollah mourns the death. Lebanon, Iran back group praised the struggle of the martyrs in defending the causes of the nation of their service to Iran, calling on God to bless them with their mercy, to protect Khamenei, and to grant Iran the ability to overcome the ordeal with patience and determination. Prime Minister of India, Iraq, even Italy, a leftist from the G7. Japan, that's a shocker. Jordan, in a post social media platform on X, Jordan's King Abdullah extended his deepest condolences. Malaysia, Pakistan, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, Pope Francis. He's not a globalist. No, he's not. He's not a globalist. He's such a great guy. Such a great guy. We're going well. Russia. No way. No. Russia is the United States friend. Best friends. Russia. The Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov expressed condolences over the death of the two officials he called reliable friends of Russia. Jesus Christ. Jesus. Reliable friends. There you go for people that believe that Russia is your friend over there. Not trying to divide, not trying to create hysteria like these people say. Sudan. In Sudan, in a statement, Sudan's sovereign council head Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has extended his sincere condolences. Syria. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Turkey. Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. Venezuela, of course. Of course. Nicolás Maduro. Nicolás Maduro, a complete communist dictator. And then you got the the UAE, of course, celebrating. UAE's Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum said. And of course, lastly but not least, suck it in, United States of America. Suck it in. Actúas como si fueras republicano y dices que no perteneces a ningún partido político. Déjame besarle los pies a Maduro. Le beso los pies a Petro. Le beso los pies a Lula. Le beso los pies a Evo Morales. Le beso los pies a Pedro Sánchez de España. Le beso los pies al asesino este de Irán, que mató más de 8,000 presos políticos y denigró a las mujeres en las plazas, quitándoles la ropa y denigrándolas por completamente. ¿Le beso los pies a Hamas? ¿Le beso los pies a Hezbollah? Alabo a la gente que está completamente asesinando a gente inocente en la parte de Gaza. ¿Qué hago? Te hago una pregunta, Rogelio Salazar. Let me just do this in Spanish for just 1 second. ¿Quién fue el que deportó a más hispanos en la historia de los Estados Unidos? ¿Fue un republicano? Se llama Barack Obama. ¿Bajo qué administraciones ha habido más guerras en los Estados Unidos? Todos han sido demócratas. ¿Qué valores tienen los latinos? Tú los tienes, mi hermano. Recuerda, despierta. ¿Por qué estás en los Estados Unidos? Porque quieres mejorar. 1, por tu familia. 2, ¿por qué? Por fe en Dios. Tú crees en Dios todos los días. Te levantas y le das gracias a Dios. ¿Sí o no? Y 3, eres capitalista de corazón. Te gusta trabajar. Te esfuerzas. Esto no tiene nada que ver con republicano y demócrata. Tiene que ver con los valores que nos quieren destruir y nos quieren arruinar y no quieren que salgamos de una caja donde nos tienen encerrados bajo un sistema donde solamente nos están utilizando para su beneficio propio y sus votos. ¿Cómo te fue con Joe Biden y sus 11 millones de indocumentados que dijo que iba a documentar? ¿Cómo están tus fronteras, mi hermano, en estos momentos? ¿Cómo está la contaminación del fentanilo? ¿Ha hecho algo Joe Biden para terminar la distribución de fentanilo dentro de su país? Porque el fentanilo no se distribuye solo, ¿verdad? No se distribuye por inteligencia artificial. ¿Verdad que sí? Abre los ojos. No se trata de republicano, no se trata de demócrata. Se trata simplemente de cómo nos están utilizando y no te das cuenta que tenemos años siendo utilizados para una narrativa política en la cual nosotros somos sumergidos a solamente ser vistos como que trabajadores de campo, como lo dijo Jerry Nadler, el demócrata, que dice que solamente los ilegales pueden levantar la lechuga, como lo acaba de decir el racista alcalde demócrata de Nueva York, que tenemos buenos nadadores. ¿Por qué? Porque nadamos por el río y cruzamos casi arriesgando la vida, malamente, pero cruzamos arriesgando la vida nadando el río. Y ya ellos son buenos nadadores. O como lo dijo Nancy Pelosi, los ilegales pueden ellos estar cortando las fresas en la Florida. ¿Para qué los mueven? ¿Para eso eres bueno nada más tú, Rogelio? ¿O puedes ser tú un arquitecto, un ingeniero, un doctor, un congresista, un senador, un líder para nuestra gente? Eso puede ser tú, ¿no? Sal de esa mierda que nos meten en la cabeza y analiza lo que está pasando. Analízalo antes de pensar en la supremacía blanca. Analiza lo que está sucediendo, cómo nos están utilizando. And lastly, the United States of America mourning the death of the butcher. How many years this guy from Iran has been threatening the United States democracy or the United States of America in American lives? How many years? Thank you so much, Patsy. Thank you so much for the coffees. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee is right there. Patsy, thank you so much. I'm watching right here. And Patsy just bought me 5 coffees. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee is right there. Thank you so much for your contributions. It's going to the travel fund, directly to the travel fund. So thank you so much. How many years? I'm just asking a question, a hypothetical question. How many years the Iranian butcher has been threatening the United States of America? How many years? Does anybody know? And you have people that they're celebrating his death in the United States of America. You know, let me ask you something. Of course, it is time for immigration reform. There's no other way that this is possibly and eventually is going to get fixed. We have been saying it for so many years. We need immigration reform. And not only in the United States of America, but around the globe. We need immigration reform. And every country needs to establish, not because they're forcing us, it is because the economical and social economical disaster of their countries. If you're not going to put immigration reform, we need to pitch in to help these countries to sustain themselves in terms of security, in terms of jobs, in terms of education, with a win-win situation like Nayib Bukele it is doing to El Salvador. Nayib Bukele is bringing all these international investors into his country, not thinking about that if he is a progressive, he's a leftist, he's this, he's that. He's only bringing economy to his country because he's worried about his people and he wants to bring the future to his people. Look at El Salvador. It's a great example of the world. El Salvador was one of the most disastrous countries and more insecure countries economically, and also insecurity and also education completely destroyed. Nayib Bukele came in, changed the perimeter, changed everything. The inequivalency of what is happening right now in El Salvador is completely shocking. Not only that, the future that he offered to El Salvador people, to our Hispanic people, it is just phenomenal. It's incredible. Now the kids, I went to El Salvador, I talked to the people on the ground, and they're completely happy. And when I said to them, hey, there's some Congress people in the United States of America that they're saying that Nayib Bukele is a dictator. What do you think about that? Oh, if he's a dictator, we love some dictator for so many years. We love this dictator for years and years and years to come. We don't want to change it. We don't want to change it at all. This dictator is good. That's what they said. I'm not saying it. They're their words. He's completely changed the education, security. He's bringing all these international companies. A lot of people do not like that he's allying with the CCP, with China. But let me tell you one thing. Who denied and who closed the door to grow in that country of El Salvador with Nayib Bukele? Who was his first number one option? This is why I have told you guys since the start, Joe Biden is the worst international relations guy ever in the history. Who closed the door to negotiate with El Salvador? United States of America could have been part of the greatest change in the history of a lifetime to change another country. And that will proclaim the United States as releasing freedom and proclaiming the freedom strategy in their country to another country. And to the world to see, look, the United States is helping El Salvador to be great and to be a phenomenal country. What happened? Joe Biden shut the door to Nayib Bukele. He said, no, you're extreme radical right-winger. Like this guy says, like, oh, you say that you're not from a political party, but you speak like a Republican. I speak like a Latino, like a Mexican, not like a Republican, because I don't speak the leftist trash, Marxist, communist, socialist crap. Does not mean that I'm not an extreme right-winger. It means that I'm a normal citizen, that I'm concerned of what it could happen to our country and to the foreign country that is the United States, my neighbor on top, and my neighbor on the bottom, that is Guatemala. I'm concerned about what's going to happen. It's a reality. There's people that they're trying to change their countries. Milei from Argentina, he's nuts, but we need a person that is nuts to break the barriers. He's at least he's nuts and he's transparent. He says it on a microphone, not that he is nuts and he lost his train of thought like Joe Biden. Muchas gracias, Maggie Max. Muchas gracias por el café. Thank you so much, Maggie. Maggie, thank you so much for the coffees. Thank you so much. Buy me a coffee is right there, pin in the chat. You got some leaders. You got Milei, you got Bukele. You got, the guy from Ecuador. Now you got Molino from Panama that is going to fight the leftist progressive mercenary agenda. You got some people that they're standing up. They're sick and tired of this crap, man. Who will not get sick and tired of what is going on right now, specifically in the United States of America? Who will not get tired of that? Who will not get tired of you? Imagine this. Let me just put a hypothetical example. Imagine that you have a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old kid. I have a 9-year-old. So imagine if I will put myself as an example, taking my son to school in the United States. I'm not a conservative, but I got conservative values. I'm more of a libertarian. I will say it. I'm a libertarian. I have said it so many times before. So I take my son to school, right? And in my head, I'm taking my son to school because I want him to prepare himself for a future. If he wants to be an entrepreneur, if he wants to be a fireman, whatever he wants to be, but I want him to be educated in a way. And education starts at home. We understand that, but also you need a good school to teach him about school. So I'm taking him to school, right? This is the United States of America. I'm not even lying. This is how shocking and how disastrous the educational system it is right now. You're taking your son to school, you're dropping him off. And as soon as you're dropping him off, you got a professor standing on the front of the classroom that is wearing purple hair, all this craziness, and said, good morning. Let's say Juan. Good morning, Juan. How are you, little Juan? And Juan says, good morning, Miss Robinson. Good morning, Miss Robinson. It's like, it's not Miss Robinson, Juan. I identify as, what are my pronouns? Oh my God, Miss Robinson, I'm so sorry. You have detention, Juan, because I already told you more than 5 times what are my pronouns. It's completely disrespectful. It's violating my rights. I'm sorry, Miss Robinson. Yes, you're going to stay, and I will talk to your dad as soon as we finish. Then you go into the classroom. You have a big, gigantic LGBTQ flag. A gigantic Black Lives Matter flag. A gigantic Ukrainian flag. A humongous Palestinian flag. You got an Antifa flag on the left side. And then you got the flag of communism. Thank you so much, Cynthia, to buy me a coffee. Thank you so much, Cynthia. God bless you. Thank you. Buy me coffee is right there. All those flags inside of a classroom. This is the school system right now in the United States. In some classes, not at all, but in some classes. This is how it is. It is not about how much is 1 + 1. It's not about learning Spanish. It's not about learning English. It's not about learning math. It's not about learning physics. It's by learning the new social economical system that they want to implement and indoctrinate your son, your daughter to be in. And that social economical disastrous system has been working continuously. And the result, do you know where the result is? In your colleges today. That's the result. That's the equivalency of your result. And a lot of it, I got to tell you to you, American, Spanish-speaking audience, Americans, English-speaking audience, people living in Latinos and in Hispanic countries, people living in the United States of America. This is the result of bad parenting. Because the colleges are not funded only by the parents. They're funded by leftist, progressive, humongous companies that they're all with the same ideals of the progressive mercenary educational system. And this is the parent's fault. Because the parent, it is paying tuition. And you're paying to get a result as what happened in Columbia University. Do you have college students graduating and wearing the thing right here hanging of Palestine and ripping your diploma that you just graduated from college, from a career, in front of everybody just to get a yay? That's how contaminated the educational system is in the United States of America right now. Such a disaster that your son and your daughter are being educated for this, to protest, to radically exercise the First Amendment right, yeah, destroy the school. But if you ask them, when was the independence? Who are your four founding fathers? Who was George Washington? Who was Abraham Lincoln? I have seen those interviews. It's unbelievable. Even I have seen interviews that a guy goes on, this guy is famous on Instagram and TikTok. He goes to colleges and he asks the most stupidest questions. And he says, in what continent, the United States of America, it is located on? And a lot of them, they have said, well, Europe, Africa, in the West. Penetrated the educational system, make them blind, make them not understand their future, what the country was founded upon, and you will have an incompetent new generation of students. Not because they're incompetent, it is because the system wants to make them incompetent. Socialism, communism, simple as that. Depend on the state, depend on the government. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. Ask a Cuban if you want to, if I'm speaking lies right now. If you want to ask somebody that they have suffered these kind of consequences, what is happening to the United States, man, a Cuban and a Venezuelan will tell you that they're freaking scared right now if they live in the United States of America and they're watching this. They're watching this, how it's happening, and they will tell you, my God, I'm living this on 3.0. I'm living this again in the 3.0 generation. This is 5K. I'm living it right now. It's with high definition. I'm not even lying. You can ask. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voices. There's another coffee. Cynthia, thank you so much for another coffee. Thank you. Buy me a coffee is right there. God bless you all. You can follow me at all my social media pages. We are going to be traveling soon, hopefully. We get the opportunity to travel soon. This is the topic of today, yet it's sad. And yes, it is sad. It's sad what you're celebrating the day of a butcher. You have to be freaking kidding me, man. Oh, shame on you. You're not, you're making a mockery of a guy that, sorry, you guys make a mockery out of Jesus. That's completely making a mockery. And the majority of the world believes that he came to save humanity. And you're making a mockery out of it. God bless you all. Thank you so much, for joining in. Share this video, like the video, share the video, like the video. You can like the video on Facebook. You can share the video and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And also you can like the video at Twitter and X. I'm sorry, X. That is the platform. It's called X, not Twitter. It's called X. Jesus. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, God's plan, it is our mission.